On today's show, we explore what happens when you pause the hustle, ask one powerful question, and realize that the main character moments you've been waiting for might have already happened. From quiet acts of bravery and creative leaps to rom-com grocery store scenes and life-changing decisions no one else applauded, this episode is a love letter to the awesome movie stars in my Movify Your Life community. So grab your popcorn, get comfy, and take a bow, because you don't have to make it to be the star. You already are. Welcome to the Movify Your Life show, the plot twist you've been waiting for. I'm your host, Jessica Grace Coleman, and through the Movify Your Life method, I'll show you how to step into the starring role of your story and create a life worth watching. Every Movify Monday, you'll learn how to turn everyday moments into unforgettable memories, activate your main character energy, and use cinematic tools to boldly chase your biggest dreams, like the movie star you truly are. Because when the credits roll, I want you to look back at your life like it's the greatest film ever made, full of meaning, magic, and most importantly, zero regrets. And because I truly believe everyone deserves to live an epic life fit for the big screen. So grab your popcorn, cue the music, and together, let's Movify your life. Hello, and welcome to the Movify Your Life show. I am your host, Jessica Grace Coleman, Chief Movifier and Director of Movify Your Life, and this podcast episode is titled You're Already the Star, Real Main Character Stories from the Movify Your Life community. And yes, I mentioned this a little bit in last week's episode when I was going through my January and all the things I did, and this is one of the favourite things I did. But it came about because I asked a question of my movie stars, which is my name for my readers and listeners, on my mailing list, my main character memo that gets sent out every Movify Monday. If you want to join, you can go to movifyyourlife.com/list and I'll get you on there. But I basically had the idea that with everything being so digital these days, and a lot of my stuff is digital, so I'm including myself in this, I wanted to send out something physical in the post that would celebrate my movie stars, celebrate something in their lives, and also help spread the Movify message and the Movify joy, because that's what it's all about. And I wanted to open it up to anyone in the world because Movify Your Life is a global movement that can help people in any country, and I know I have listeners and readers all over the place. So I sent an email and I asked one simple question. Actually, it was kind of two, now that I say that. And the question was, what's one moment in your past where you truly felt like the main character of your own life? Proud of yourself, brave, or quietly powerful, even if no one else noticed? And I think I put a caveat in there. It could be, a couple of different things. You could take this in a couple of different directions. So I asked this question because I wanted to know more about my movie stars, and I'm all about celebrating, main character moments. And I really want to take back the term main character because it's used in a negative way most of the time. Yeah, all of the time, really, on social media. They say, oh, she obviously thinks she's the main character of her life. Look at how she's standing out. And it's seen as a really negative thing. So I want to reclaim that because we should be the main characters of our lives. If not, who else is going to be? And we shouldn't be background characters. We shouldn't be sidekicks in our own lives. So we are the main character. So I asked that question. I didn't know if anyone would reply because honestly, a lot of the time, creating content, social media, podcasts, mailing lists, you do kind of tend to send stuff out and then it's like sending stuff out into the ether and you never know if people are reading it, let alone taking anything from it. But I know people do because I'm on a lot of lists that I never reply to, but I still get a lot out of it. And I follow a lot of people or see their content on social media and I don't like or comment or follow all the time. So I know there are more people out there who are consuming this content and I don't know about them. So I wanted to get some replies and I wasn't sure if I would, but I did. I got quite a few, which was really nice. And I got all these stories from people all over the world, their main character moments, completely different ones, all of them. And I basically said in the email, if you send me a reply to this message that you don't mind me using in my content, so social media, the mailing list, this podcast, so this episode basically, I will send you a physical gift in the post as a thank you gift. And yeah, I was surprised and delighted at the range and depth of replies. And it was a really good thing to do just as like an exercise to see if I could get any replies. So it was nice to actually get replies. It was also nice because I am now actually getting to know people on my mailing list, and we're emailing back and forth. And, I feel like I actually know some of these people now, which is just really, really cool. And also I had a lot of fun doing this. I had a lot of fun reading the replies and emailing them back. And I had a lot of fun coming up with what I was going to post. So I have a lot of Movify Your Life merchandise. When I start a project, I love getting my own merch. It's just something I always do. So I had quite a lot of postcards, Movify Your Life postcards, wristbands. If you've watched my movie, you'll see me wearing them in most scenes there. And I had loads of those. They're like red silicone wristbands that say Movify Your Life, life is for living, which is from the theme song to the movie, the lyrics of that. And I said postcards, bookmarks, Movify Your Life, main character bookmarks, main character thoughts, notebooks. And also I wanted to send something a little more personal. So I decided to send a little star crystal to everyone, a different color to signify them being a movie star. And because I like crystals and woo-woo stuff. And I think they're nice little gifts. And I had like a big, shiny, glittery star cutout thing. I can't even remember where I got those from or why. But I taped the main sort of present to that, which was a keyring. I got a little like red Movify Your Life red tassel, put it on a keyring and put some charms on there. And I tried to do the charms so they're either Movify Your Life related or they were related to the person and their story and things I got to know about them from talking to them. And I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed buying the thing. I already had a lot of the merch, but I really enjoyed buying the stuff for the keyrings and actually making them and looking through the charms and picking them out and seeing which would resonate and which would like be a good thing that would connect to their story, but would also encourage them to go out and do awesome Movified things. And I encourage them to write plans for their Movified future in the notebook as well. I basically just wanted a physical, tangible thing. And like pretty much everyone uses keyrings or keychains. If you're in the US, you might call it that. And I wanted it to be something that they could look at and be reminded of their main character moment, first of all. Be reminded of who they are and that they are the person who can do that kind of stuff. And also just give them a bit of encouragement and hope and inspiration for the future. Hopefully it will make them think of Movify Your Life and all the things they've heard from me in the mailing list or podcast or whatever. And hopefully it would remind them that they can create a more epic, more awesome life, a movie-worthy life, if they wish. So I enjoyed doing that. I enjoyed writing a little personalised message to each one on a postcard. And I sent it in shiny red or gold packaging, which was really cool. And it was just a really nice thing to do. It was something physical. I could sort out buying the stuff and putting it all together and figuring out what I was sending and what I was writing and then actually going and posting them. It was just all really, really fun. So even if I didn't get any replies or heard that, if I didn't hear that it had arrived or anything, that was still really fun and worth it. But I did also get some really nice replies from people who really got what I was going for with the whole Movify message. I also gave them like extra postcards and bookmarks if they wanted to hand them out to anyone. Spread the Movify joy. And yeah, who really understood what I was trying to do with like the keyrings and the personalized bits and bobs. And it was really nice hearing from people who really appreciated that kind of gift. So I want to thank everyone who emailed me their main character moment. And I want to especially thank those who let me know that it arrived and sent me lovely messages back about it, basically. And I wanted to basically tell you some of these Movified main character moments, because some of them are quite big things, some of them are little things, or some of them are things that seem little but actually are huge and can lead to other huge things. And like I say, I got a good range. I'm not going to read every single story because some were quite in-depth and personal and some were quite sad, but, with an uplifting note of hope to them. But I didn't want to read out the really, really personal ones. So I'm going to leave them as anonymous as well, because I told them that it would be anonymous. But I promise you, these are real replies I got from real people on my list. And like I say, if you want to join my list, you can head to movifyyourlife.com/free. You'll also get a free Movie Star Alter Ego starter kit if you've not had that through. And the links are in the show notes as well. So Here are the replies I got to the question, what's one moment in your past where you truly felt like the main character of your own life? Proud of yourself, brave, or quietly powerful, even if no one else noticed. So the first one I got said, one moment I felt like the main character was when my job sent me traveling to other states to work. I was responsible for getting back and forth to airports, hotels, etc., and working in a new environment. I made it work, and I was very proud of myself for doing something new and unfamiliar and making it work. Another fun time was I got myself a fake fur coat and some long blonde hair and big sunglasses. When I put them on, I felt like a movie star, even if I'm just staying home. I love this. I love both these things. The first one, the travel, it's like solo travel for work, doing things they weren't used to, making it work. I love that they say they were very proud of themselves. Like, I'm all about solo travel and how that can change you and transform you, and getting outside your comfort zone and getting to airports and going on planes and figuring out hotels. If you've not done that before on your own, it is a huge thing. Well, it is a huge thing anyway, but I love that part of it. But then I really, really love the fake fur coat, long blonde hair. I don't know if she means a wig or they mean a wig. I think it's a woman. I anonymised these for three of them for me. And I can remember some of them, who they were, but not others. Big sunglasses. I love it. This is just Movify Your Life in a nutshell. When I put them on, I feel like a movie star, even if I'm just staying home. Love, love, love. We should all do this. Get an outfit that makes us feel like a movie star, even if you're just wandering around your house, just feeling awesome. And if you go out the house and do it and don't care what people think about you, even better. But I just love that she did this just staying at home. And I have many big sunglasses. I do have some wigs from when I did my Movimentary, but they're not super great quality. I don't have a big fake fur coat though. I think I need to rectify that. So that was the first one I got. Loved it. The next one, a bit of a different vibe. So this one said, I raised over $2,000 for a local veterans shelter within an aggressive 4.5-month window via social media, local billboards, TV and radio ads in December 2014. 4 colleagues and I rallied local talent and leaders, rappers, musicians, vocalists, dancers, slam poets and small business owners to provide content and help raise funds for a veterans shelter over a weekend-long live-streamed telethon. The live stream capped off the 4.5-month campaign. I mean, this is just awesome, isn't it? Like, doing stuff for charity is always cool. Doing stuff for local charities, even better. But this is a lot. This was like billboards and TV and radio, social media, a live streamed telethon with all these cool people on. I mean, this is seriously epic. This is like something out of a movie. And I just want to point out this was December 2014. So even if you think you've had no main character moments in your life recently, just keep going back. Like, you'll find them if you look for them hard enough. And yeah, I love this. Raising the money, well done. That sounds like a lot of work, and just, doing something for other people, and something so cool that involved a lot of local talent as well. So you gave them exposure as well. Just love it. Brilliant. The next one, a moment in my life where I was very proud and felt like the main character in my own life was when I got my first acting gig last year in front of the camera. I had an absolute blast and the crew were amazing. I'm hoping to get more acting gigs this year. I am totally blind, but I don't let that stop me. I love acting and being around like-minded people too. I love this. And we actually had quite a few emails, back and forth, conversations about this. She also has done loads of other amazing things. Obviously, acting is very tied to Movify Your Life as well. Being in front of the camera, we can connect these to everything I talk about with Movify Your Life as well. I love the sentence, I am totally blind, but I don't let that stop me. How many people let other things stop them, all the time, come up with all kinds of excuses not to do stuff. And I'm including myself in this. So I loved that you said, I don't let that stop me. And an important part of this is that she said, I had an absolute blast and the crew were amazing. So many things in main character moments are about other people, the people you were with when it happened, and having fun. Like, a main character moment doesn't have to be this huge, epic scene. It can be just going out there, having fun, doing something out of your comfort zone or something you've been telling yourself you're going to do for years, having fun, being around people, meeting people, and doing things you love around like-minded people. So I love that one. And like I say, we had quite a few conversations and she's doing all kinds of awesome things. So that's really cool.
Okay, movie star, real talk. Are you tired of feeling like a background extra in your own life? Then it's time to step into the spotlight and activate your main character era. And I've got just the thing to help you do it. grab my free movie star alter ego starter kit, your behind-the-scenes pass to creating the bold, brave, action-taking version of you who goes after their dreams like the star of a blockbuster. Inside, you'll discover how to design your alter ego, choose your transformational item, pick your theme song, and build the rituals and confidence cues you need to start living your life like the epic movie it was meant to be. So, if you're ready to rewrite your script, roll camera, and finally take the lead, head to movifyyourlife.com/free to download your free starter kit now. That's movifyyourlife.com/free. Your next scene starts today. And now, let's get back to the action. The next one, I entered a giveaway for something I didn't want to spend money on, was confident I would win, and I did. I won it. I totally made it happen. Love this. This is pure manifestation. I love it's something they didn't want to spend money on, but they were confident they would win. How many of us say stuff like that? Not many. So, a lot of this manifestation stuff does involve doing actual work and doing things, but also just having confidence and believing in yourself and believing something will happen. And it did. She totally made it happen. So that's really cool. Okay, so the next one is one moment in my past where I truly felt like the main character was when I went on a national US tour with my rock band at 19 years old. It was 6 weeks. I'd never been away from my parents that long and was now in a van with 4 other dudes venturing across the US. I love this. I replied to this and said, this is a movie. Like, this needs to be made into a movie. I mean, it's got road trip, rock bands, rite of passage, growing up, travel movie. It's got everything. I really think this could be an actual film. So really, really cool. And I've been emailing this person as well quite a lot, getting to know them. And I actually got a really, really lovely reply about the gift I sent from this particular person. So thank you for that. And yeah, it's been really nice getting to know all these movie stars. And like I say, this has to be made into a movie. Now, the next one is a bit different, but I wanted to include it. So the question was, have you had a main character moment? And the answer from this person was, unfortunately, I have not. Any big moments I've had were always kicked out from under my feet. And I wanted to include this because a lot of people, when asked that question, may think the same. I've not had any main character moments. But if we really try, we can find main character moments in our life, everywhere. It could be something like when you stood up for someone else or for yourself or your beliefs. When you pushed yourself to do something scary, in quotes, and left your comfort zone. When you achieved something other people didn't think you could. Passing an exam or a test you thought you were going to fail. Helping others. Making a promise to yourself and following through. They don't have to be big things, but I'm sure you can come up with something if you really, really think about it. Because lots of these little things add up to some pretty awesome main character behavior. And you can tell the difference when people answer with positive things to this message and when people say things like, I don't have any of these moments because other people took them away from me every time. And I'm not judging because I used to think and say stuff like this all the time. That's before I did a lot of work on myself and a lot of work actually movifying my life. So now I see things differently and I actively pursue these moments. I create them instead of just waiting for them to happen to me, which is what I did before and which is what I think a lot of people do, just generally. And I wanted to include this reply, as I said, because I know a lot of people think like this, because I used to think like this. And even just a tiny shift in perspective can help you view those same events that you've already had in a different, more positive, more movified light. And when you do that, you can start creating these moments in the future. So I wanted to include this, and I want to say to this movie star, I already replied and said a similar thing, that they don't have to be big moments. And when you start looking at things from a different perspective, you won't think these moments because people made sure I didn't. You think, I will have these moments because I'm going to make sure I create them. And that's a huge perspective shift and it can change your life. So I hope this movie star has gone back and thought about past main character moments, even little things, and realized that yes, you have had them and you can have them again. So the next one is every time I published my young adult novels on Amazon, I felt like the main character. But also when I did my cabaret show in New York City, 15 songs, me and a pianist on a small stage, singing my heart out. I love this. I love this because I also publish young adult novels on Amazon, though I haven't done it for a few years. And I replied and said, isn't it awesome when you have your book in your hands and all that kind of stuff. But the cabaret show in New York City really impressed me because I cannot sing. I don't have musical talent despite choirs and learning musical instruments when I was younger.
That all seems to have gone away. I don't think I'm a very good singer. And also stage fright is a huge thing. I am so impressed by anyone who puts on their own cabaret show in New York City, a small stage, singing your heart out, 15 songs, you and a pianist. I mean, that is main character energy times a million. So I love that one. So thank you for sending that in. Now, the next one is probably my favorite because similar to the rock band tour, which I think should be made into a movie, this seems like something that's sort of exactly from a movie, like a scene in a rom-com, because I can picture it so perfectly. And he probably told me a story. So I'm going to read this. And this is about his ex, but he still considers it a main character moment, which I love because we don't want to bin things from the past just because we're not with that person anymore or we're not at that job or whatever it is. We can still celebrate them, which I love. So here we go. A moment where I felt like I was in a movie happened a few years ago. My ex-girlfriend and I had met on Facebook and it was coming up on our 1-year anniversary. She was disappointed that we didn't have an exciting story to tell others about how we met, so I decided to change that. The day of our anniversary, I called and asked her to stop at the grocery store and grab herself a chocolate milk. She drank them for her heartburn. But I said for her to call me and let me know when she was there. I arrived there in advance and bought a single red rose, then waited around the corner from where the milk was located. I remember feeling like I was in some romantic comedy. People were walking by me and I knew they were wondering, what is this guy doing, just standing here like he's hiding and holding a rose? She was supposed to call me right after she grabbed the milk, but instead texted me that she was already in line at the checkout counter, which was halfway across the store. So I ran down the aisle and found her checking out. There were 2 people behind her and I politely told them that I just wanted to speak to the woman at the front of the line. They let me through and I tapped her on the shoulder. She happened to be on the phone with her mom, and when she turned around, she was completely surprised and smiling. I said to her, "Hi, I saw you walk in the store and couldn't remember what I came here for." I asked if I could get her number and handed her the rose. Neither of us had a pen, but by now people around us were aware of what was happening, and a cashier 2 aisles over yells that she has a pen. The customers in line passed it over and my ex went along with it, writing her number down on a receipt. I walked away saying, "Thank you so much, I'm going to call you." When she got home, I said, "Now we can tell people we met at the grocery store and you don't have to tell them we met on Facebook anymore." Oh, I love it. It's just like a scene from a rom-com, isn't it? I mean, the meet cute of the single red rose would have been cool anyway. But the fact that he sort of created this whole romantic comedy scene so she would have a better story to tell people about how they met rather than just met online, because she was disappointed that they didn't have that kind of thing, that story to tell like other couples. I just love it so much. It's so thoughtful. The red rose, the surprise, the pretending you don't know each other. It's so romantic comedy. And I made sure to include a rose on this guy's keyring because it's just a wonderful story. So I love this so much. And the last one I'm going to mention is this one. The point in my life where I felt like the main character. Oh, that's a tough one, but it's got to be after my birthday when the realization sunk in of just how alone I am. I then said to myself, something needs to change. And I then started reaching out to you, Samaritans, and various other mental health places. And I love this so much. I've talked to this person on email quite a bit since this and before this, actually. I think we were talking anyway. So getting to know them, which is really cool. And this is so important in so many ways because it shows that while I love the rose thing and the traveling across the country with a rock band when you're 19, so cool. It doesn't have to be something like that, your main character moment. It can be a realization, like they say, that they need to make something change. They make changes in their life. Similar to what I was talking about last week, actually, when I realized I had to make changes as well and was determined to make these changes in January. But not only having the realization and making the decision to do this, but then actually doing it. So reaching out to me, Samaritans, various other mental health places is huge. Asking for help is not easy, I know. So the fact that this movie star has done this and then also sent through this main character moment to me is really, really cool. And I think that should be something you should be very proud of. And this is just the start. The realization, the decision, sending out emails or phoning people or whatever you may have done is just the start of an epic journey. This will be your origin story in your Movified life story one day. And yes, I'm very proud of you. And I hope this is the start of something really cool. So like I say, I did get a few others, but I didn't want to read some of them out because they were very, very personal. But thank you so much to everyone who replied to my question. I sent every single one of you a package. I hope you enjoy them. Hope they arrived. If you haven't, let me know. I hope they got there okay. And yeah, I just love the idea of just asking a question that maybe you don't often think about. Like, I wouldn't normally go through my day-to-day life and say, hey, you, friend, when did you have a main character moment? But having this brand gives me an excuse to ask these kind of deeper questions, which I love. And like I say, I wanted to do something physical, something real, not just another, digital thing. And like I say, I really enjoyed buying the stuff, matching the gifts to the stories, packing them all up, writing the messages, sending them off, hearing that they got there safely, getting lovely replies. And yeah, I just want to thank you, whoever contributed. And I just want to say that making real connections with people is always worth it, no matter what the postage cost. So yeah, for you guys listening, I encourage you to answer the question yourself. You can either do this privately in your journal, or you can email me. My email is action@movifyyourlife.com. You can find that in the show notes as well. And I want you to answer the question and then take a moment to reflect just on how awesome your main character moment was or is or will be if you're planning your next one. And even if no one recognized that main character moment, even if it was something small, something people didn't know about, I want you to take a moment and congratulate yourself for that main character moment. Give yourself an award and consider this episode and me going through all these messages as your own personal standing ovation, because you're all awesome. You all had amazing main character moments, and I want to encourage you to celebrate them, like I say, no matter how big or small. And just as a reminder, if you do want to answer this question for yourself, here it is. Once I found it again, here we go. What's one moment in your past where you truly felt like the main character of your own life? Proud of yourself, brave, or quietly powerful, even if no one else noticed. Celebrate these moments. Realize that you have had them before, then you can have them again. And celebrate the fact that you are the kind of person who can have these moments, and know that you can create them yourself in the future. You don't have to wait for them to happen to you. So yeah, write it down, journal on it, meditate on it, reflect on it, celebrate it, send it to me if you would like. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for everyone who replied to my emails, for everyone who let me know their packages arrived. Please share this episode with a loved one if you think they'd get something out of it. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and well done to all my main character movie stars on my main character memo mailing list. That's a lot of M's, isn't it? Anyway, thank you for listening. Celebrate your main character moments. Let me know all about them. And until next time, I'll see you on the red carpet.
Thank you so much for listening to the Movify Your Life show. Before you go, don't forget to sign up for the main character memo mailing list at movifyyourlife.com/list for exclusive tips, treats, and behind the scenes magic. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would really appreciate it if you could please subscribe, leave a review, or share this podcast with a friend. Let's spread that Movify message far and wide, because everyone deserves to live an epic life fit for the big screen. I'll see you next week for another Movify Monday. Until then, that's a wrap.